Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to share real quick that with my coloring pages, you can use those as patterns to paint from. Here's the one I did with just the sweets, the cookies and candies. And you can tell I changed up the ribbon candy on these two. And this is just an 8x10 flat back canvas that I painted this on with some really inexpensive bottled acrylic paints. Here's the one I did that we're doing now. And so I changed the colors up, and I took these off and painted on just some what I call comma strokes. So feel welcome to do whatever you like with it. Once you've bought the page, it's yours. Just ask that you please don't resell them. You know, honor my wishes there. Okay, I went ahead and I did all the gray and I did all the blue. Now I'm going to come in with the darker gray and just do the edges so that it looks curled, like, you know, rounded. So go all the way around, just like we've been doing on the other ornaments. And if you're not to this point yet, just push pause on the video. No big deal. Push pause and go to your little happy place and sit and do those real quick. And then when you come back, you'll be ready to color along with me as we finish off this page. So yeah, you're welcome to print this off and recolor it as many times as you like. My favorite page is still my cookies and sweets, though. There's something about that takes me back to Christmas as a kid. Just getting down in these little areas, being careful to stay out of that blue since I went ahead and put it in before I did all the rounded edges here. Yeah, I didn't leave quite enough white showing in that one, so it made it harder to make it look rounded. I'm doing the very tip because I want it to look cupped around too. Okay. Now as we finish this up, you should probably start thinking about all the caps with the holders on top of each ornament, these pieces here. How are you going to want to finish those off? Okay, I did do that just a little more. You know, are you going to want to, and see, I still didn't sharpen that. It's used down to a nub, but I never did have to sharpen it. Are you going to want to do them in metallic pens? Do you have metallic pencils you like? Are you just going to do them to match the ornaments? You know what I'm saying? So kind of start thinking about what you want to do there. I have metallic pencils, but I think I'm just going to use my gel pens. I may try a couple and see how it looks and then go from there. And this is that same blue. I don't know why it's just really looking different this time. Maybe because we stepped away for a few minutes. And then I'm going to come in with the other blue to blend them. And it will help knock that purple undertone back just a bit. And it will also do the blending for us. No need for a blending pencil. I can just use this pencil and do the blending right there. I had missed a part. See anything you missed, now's your chance to go back and tidy it up. And I don't think I really have a video planned for after this one. So if there's something you would like to see done, post and let me know. I have a poinsettia. Yes, I believe that's the correct pronunciation. On the YouTube page also, not YouTube, I'm sorry, on the Etsy that I had drawn, I could do that. There's a page I did with a scripture, I could do that. You know, there's plenty of things over there. Or if you've got something from another site that's free that you think everybody might enjoy, then or that you yourself would enjoy, then let me know. Post the link for it down underneath in the comments so that others are able to grab hold of it too. And we'll just see where we go from here. It's my YouTube, but I do it for others, so I want to be thoughtful in that aspect, you know. So without somebody watching it and following along, what's the purpose, you know? I'm not doing it just to hear myself talk, although I do talk a lot. Sorry. Sometimes I overcorrect too on my coloring book site. The coloring books keep it clean. Sometimes I'll give unsolicited, imagine that, advice on how to make something look more blended or more 3D. And I don't mean to insinuate that anybody has to do anything differently. It's just that teacher in me that pops out, and I try to stifle it back and push it down, but it's going to pop out. So I'm not out to hurt anybody's feelings or anything on it, but it happens. What can I say? All right, so now I need to do all this blending. I'm going to find the good side of this pencil. Do all this. Just get in there and blend. And it's going to be this whole area. And now I'm going to find the tip on that and get down here in this tip and just run up through there. So, see, still didn't have to sharpen the pencil. So you can work around that sharpener where you're not having to use it as often. You just have to remember to roll that pencil like a peppermint stick. Yeah, just roll it so you can keep a little tip on it somewhere. And if you're coloring with your pencil straight up and down and you end up with it flat, then if you turn it on its side, you're probably still going to have a little tipped edge on it somewhere. You're just not used to looking for it. So it's all good. All right, what do you say? Took us another 8 minutes to do that. Okay, these out of the way. So now then, what do we want to do? All right, I'm going to get out some gel pens. These are from Super Doodle, and they are my favorite. And I'm going to get gold, and I'm going to put a bow right through this one, because it would be, if it's going to be hanging, it's going to have a bow somewhere, right? So I want to go in front here, and then it would come in behind and join. Does that make sense? All right. Then I'm going to put a bow here and here. Now, do you see how I made it hang down? It's because gravity is pulling that down. And then the ribbon's on it, and we'll say that one went behind and came back out over here. And the ribbon went in front and came out over there. You can't see it a lot, but that's okay. It's a last little embellishment is what it is. This one, the bow is back here, so one ribbon can be here and one can just be here. All right, we don't want to forget them just because they're not showing. So this is behind all of this. So when you do that loop, it goes up, behind, and then came behind here and hooked. And then these come down, down, wiggle, wiggle. Now, if that really, really bothers you, let's try it with the glitter pen. Do you see that? All right. It's looking better for me in person than it does for you on camera. I can tell you that. I can see them. But when I look through the camera, I know that you cannot. So that was the reason for going back with that. Again, if you get the little bottles of crafting paint, you can ink it and just do those so simply. Okay, silver, and just color it in. Now I will tell you, when you use metallics, you're going to have a better look overall if you can go all one direction. That's just whether you're painting or using your pens or whatever. Okay? And then I might have like an S hook in this one. So maybe it's here and then goes underneath and around and has a decorative end on both ends. See what I did? All right, so this one, I'm going to go across the top and bottom first, and then that way I will be able to keep my vertical lines going all the way across. And if you need to go a little slower, go a little slower. Okay, don't get in a hurry. Now that one's going off this way, so this time I'm going to have one circle off this direction. So the S, and then it's going behind, it comes back out, goes behind, and then this time it can go over the top. All right, just have them going in different areas. They don't have to be the same size. Look how big that one is, how small that one is. It's okay. You don't have to put hooks on them at all. Okay, I am just choosing to. Now I'm going to do this so that I am able to reach it easier. You also want to make sure you keep your hand out of anything that might be wet. Some gel pens just stay really wet for a while. These stay wet long enough that I can blend them, but not so long that I really ever mess up. I'm going to go under, then this time I'm going to go over, and then the S going the other direction. All right, so there's those. So we've done two. We've done this one and we've done this one. Now I'm going to go in and grab, let's see, we did silver. That was in a goldish yellow color. Let's see, I'm actually going to grab green for this. Now we're going to test. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I always test first because I would hate to really just put it on there and then find out how bad it looked. Hot mess. We don't need that. We worked too hard to get it this far along. You could actually poke a hole on each side of this and put a ribbon through it or a piece of what am I trying to think? Embroidery floss, and tie it and use it as your hanger to make this more three-dimensional. Okay. You could take this same page, shrink it down on your printer, tell it to print like a 5x7 instead of the full size, and then you can fold it in half and make the front into a Christmas card. Shrink them, maybe just have one, shrink it down small, make little place setting cards and put the person's name off to the side. There's all kinds of things that y'all can do with different pages. Now, do you remember the hooks that used to be just those green plastic hooks? It had like a piece on the end, and then it came up, and then it went around. All right, so you know it. I'm going to go other direction on this one. Okay, and then we have this guy left. I'm wondering what color this is. See, I don't have swatches for my gel pens. Maybe I should, but I really don't have a way to identify the pen unless I go through and put a number on every one of them, which I can. I've done that with pencils. We're going to see how this looks. Oh yeah, nice and rich, like a bronze. Okay. And I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm doing it in bits so that if it is streaky, it's at least streaky in the areas going the direction it needs to be. But how cool is that? I like it. Just the way it looks up next to that. And again, you can use any of the colors that you've got on the ornament itself. You could do them all in silver. You could do them all in gold. You don't have to put hooks on them at all. I'm just showing you how you can take and embellish the page and go a step further with it. It's your page. You decide what you want to do. How many of you remember those old-time hooks that were kind of bent and folded over? They kind of went like this. You see what behind and in front. Do you remember those kind of hooks? They were usually in silver, but hey, I wanted to get that kind of hook in here too. I'm stopping to look at my hand to see if I've gotten in anything, and I'm not. I'm clean. So now that one went that way, so this one I'm going to have go over this way. So I'm going to have it come down, come around. This time it's going to go over the top. See, it went under there, over the top here, and then the hook. What do y'all think? Not half bad. Okay, I know that's still bothering some of you. We're going to come in with this color and see what happens. Still not showing up any different. So, hang on, don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. You've seen me grab bottles of paint of white and use for highlights and stuff. This time I've grabbed this one. It's an actual metallic Inca gold. It's just mainly as long as you've got a metallic paint. Or you could use a solid. Solid, you know what I mean. All right, put this out on here. And that's enough to do about 5 or 6 big paintings. But anyway, then I'm going to come back with my brush. And I'm going to have to lay this in here. Now, is that showing up for you? Because it's really showing up here. So it's whatever you've got that's going to help you get the effect that you wanted. Okay, it's going behind because it's under that ornament over here. All right. And I'll pick this up in a minute and show it to you at an angle. Whoops, I went in front. That should have been behind. No, actually it didn't matter. It's the bow part. And I'm just tracing over the top of what I had previously done with the pen, because I can see the pen. I think it's just harder for you to make it out because of being on the other end of the YouTube, because I'm not having any problems seeing it. But I know when I look through my camera, it's a little less obvious. Okay, now I'm going to put this upside down. I want to be able to get to it. Okay, this is coming from behind. Okay, I'll try to keep my hand out of the way. It's just hard. That line got a little fat there. It's all right. It's a ribbony piece. It can be a little bit dimensional. Remember, that one went behind, came out over here, and we just did that for interest. It could have just as easily gone on top. Okay. All right, let's bend that back around. Drop that brush in water. What do you think? Taking the top off so I can put my leftover paint back into the bottle. Just slide it off in there. Waste not. All right, so I'm finished. I like it. I think it turned out just fine. I do like the colors, and I think here now you can see all the shine and shimmer that's on there. So if you've not been following along, and dry, oh yeah, dry. And even this is already dry, okay? If you've not gotten the page, it's on Etsy. All right, just push pause and write that down. All the other chicken scratching on here is probably most of the colors I've used. So, all right, I enjoyed. Leave me some comments. What shall we do next? Ideas? All right, talk to you later. Thanks for joining me. Bye.